Thank you very much, Michael, and it's a real pleasure to be here, and particularly as Michael said, on this day to commemorate Martin Luther King. Let me just to quote a couple of his speeches where he articulated his concern about economic and social justice. In his famous speech in Vietnam, he talked about a true revolution of values will soon cause us to question the fairness and justice of many of our present policies. On the one hand, we are called to play the Good Samaritan on life's roadside. That will be only an initial act. One day, we must come to see that the whole Jericho road must be changed so that men and women will not be constantly beaten and robbed as they make their journey on life's highway. True compassion is more than flinging a coin to the beggar. A true revolution of values will soon look uneasily on the glaring contrasts of poverty and wealth with righteous indignation. And then in another speech entitled, Where Do We Go From Here?, delivered in August of 1967, he said, I want to say to you as I move to my conclusion, as we talk about where do we go from here, that we must honestly face the fact that the movement must address itself to the question of restructuring the whole of American society. There are 40 million poor people here, and one day we must ask the question, why are there 40 million poor people in America? And when you begin to ask that question, you are raising a question about the economic system, about a broader distribution of wealth. When you ask that question, you begin to question the capitalist economy. And I'm simply saying that more and more we've got to begin to ask questions about the whole society. Since he spoke more than 50 years ago, in some respects, for instance in discrimination, things have become better. But in the arena of economic inequality, matters have grown worse. As those who have spoken before me have pointed out, there are many dimensions to inequality. There is the rising fraction of wealth and income that is going to the top. Now, more than 20% goes to the top 1%. Indeed, in the economic recovery, 95% of all the gains since 2009 have gone to the upper 1%. So for most Americans, there is no recovery. In the middle, there's a hollowing out of the middle. And at the bottom, there are more people in poverty. But these just describe the inequalities of outcomes. There's the inequality of opportunity, the fact that the American dream is now realized to be a myth. America has less opportunity than most countries of old Europe. In fact, among the advanced countries, it is among the worst in terms of equality of opportunity. Inequality of wealth is even greater than inequality of income. There's inequality of access to health, access to education, exposure to environmental hazards. While America has led the way, one might say, in this increasing inequality, what has been happening here has been happening in most countries, partly because many have followed the economic model that America has pushed. But interestingly, in not all countries has there been growing inequality. In some countries in particular, there is actually a reduction in inequality, including in many countries in America. And there is a very important implication of this observation, and that is, it is not just the laws of economics that are determining the growth in inequality that we've seen in most countries